What's up, everybody? I'm Michael Allen, and this is the Movie Minute. This episode of the Movie Minute, we are talking about George Miller's apocalyptic desert epic prequel, Furiosa. If you're looking for a non-spoiler review, you've found yourself in the right place, so let's jump on in. This film is a little bit hard to review because Mad Max Fury Road, which Furiosa is a prequel to, is viewed as one of the best action films of all time, and it's very worthy of that discussion. And so when you're coming into a film like this, it's hard because you have high expectations and you are looking for this film to do something very similar to what Mad Max did. And it's hard when you make a film that good and then you're following it up. But George Miller is the one to do it, right? I mean, it's kind of insane to think that George Miller, who created the Mad Max series literally 40 years ago, you guys, over the 40 years ago, the original Mad Max came out. George Miller co-wrote that and directed it. And so you've got a guy who is very, very familiar with the world. And George Miller is an expert at world building. He's proven that through the Mad Max series. And that's something that makes this series so special. And so when we're heading into Furiosa, you're looking at it going, can it continue to build upon this world and add something really unique to this story that George Miller has expertly crafted over the course of 40 years? The plot of this film is truly taken from some lines of Fury Road and then ties straight into the beginning of Fury Road as well. So it truly is a very well-crafted prequel in the sense that it gives you everything you need to build out the story of Fury Road. We see a lot of Furiosa's life here. We see her as a child, and then we see her grow into a teenager and then into an adult. In this story, Furiosa is dealing with another gang leader of Dr. Dementus, played by Chris Hemsworth. And Dr. Dementus is basically vying for power in the Wasteland, which is very typical in this post-apocalyptic, that's hard to say, you guys. Furiosa's story intertwines with Dr. Dementus, and he helps shape who she becomes when we meet her in Mad Max Fury Road. I'm not going to say any more plot details because I don't want to spoil it for you, so let's jump in and talk about what I liked. There is a lot to like about Furiosa. It really jumps into this world well. And that's first and foremost what's amazing about this film is George Miller just knows the world. His world building is incredible. I was just talking about it with my friends after we saw the movie of just his ability to build out these storylines and these feelings in this space is so well done and well crafted. He has a great grasp of the world in his head, and it translates to screen very well. And that leads into my second favorite thing is the cinematography. Once again, the cinematography is gorgeous because the world is gorgeous. And I'm sure it was a ton of work, but it makes it easy. It makes the work easy when the world is so rich and vibrant and incredible. The action sequences are amazing. They're right on par with Mad Max Fury Road. I think that's one of the elements of this film that is right up there equal with Mad Max Fury Road is how well executed the action sequences are. They're incredible from start to finish, and you're drawn in and you love every single minute of it. I also really loved Chris Hemsworth as Dr. Dementus. I think he brought something really unique. I think it's hard to break away from an old character, right? It's like he was Thor and still is Thor, I think, till this moment. And so it's hard to find a character outside of what you're known for and do it really well, and he does it to a T. George Miller's directing in this is really good. It's just, that's what really makes this film amazing is his directorial grasp on the content and the story and the characters is so solid, it elevates everything else. You would think George Miller won an Oscar for Mad Max Fury Road, but he definitely did not. George Miller has won an Oscar, and it is for the craziest movie you could ever imagine George Miller winning an Oscar for. If it's a movie about dancing and singing penguins, you are correct. Mind-blowing that he won an Oscar for that and not Fury Road. So let's jump in and talk about what I didn't like. I think first off is there's some vignettes in this movie, how it's kind of spaced out in terms of plot, which I don't want to say a lot because I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's kind of cut in a very unique way in terms of structure, and I didn't love it. I think it's a little bit slower than Mad Max Fury Road, which is okay because it's a different story, but I think I went in expecting a certain type of energy and speed in terms of this film, and it's definitely a little bit slower. And so that added into the second part that I didn't like, is just like the middle bogged down a little bit, and there's just some characters in this film that I just didn't care about really, and I understand that maybe they kind of complete Anya Taylor Joy's Furiosa's character arc, but there's just some things in it that just don't fully matter, and the runtime is long. That's the last thing really, is it's 2.5 hours, and in the middle it feels long. You really feel it. It's not bad. I just don't think we needed it as much, and you could have tightened up the runtime a bit to make it flow a little bit better. From an entertainment standpoint, the film is immensely entertaining. I think overall it's super fun. It flows really well, and the world is very rich. So a solid 9 out of 10 for entertainment. I really did enjoy the film, even though I found myself a little bit sleepy in the middle of the film. Overall, I loved it. I think that the vignetting and a few of those things really took it down just a little bit for me. So 8 out of 10 for me for critics rating for Furiosa, which averaged out 8.5 out of 10 for me from Furiosa. It's a good movie. From a bad standpoint, this is absolutely a popcorn bucket. It needs to be seen. These are the type of movies you need to see in theaters. It's worth it. I know people nowadays are like, oh, I just would rather sit at home with my snacks and my drinks on my couch, watching my movie, and pause when I want to and stop when I want to and start when I want to. And I get that, but that really takes away from the experience that George Miller is trying to give us with this. And so this movie was meant to be experienced in theaters with the big sound, with the big picture. It truly is a blast. At the end of the day, Furiosa did everything a prequel needs to do. Prequels make the original content stronger, and Furiosa does just that. I watched Mad Max Fury Road the other night after I watched Furiosa, and it literally made every little bit of Mad Max Fury Road stronger, and that is what's important about Furiosa. Very solid addition to the Mad Max saga. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe. Would love to have you on this movie journey with me. And until next time, everybody, peace out.